In North America and many other countries around the world, Christmas has become synonymous with Santa Claus. According to traditional Christian beliefs, Santa Claus is depicted as an aged man who visits homes with well-mannered children through the chimney and leaves them gifts and candy. The character of Santa Claus is derived from Saint Nicholas, an ancient Greek Christian bishop who, according to several Christian denominations, is the patron saint of children. However, in other countries around the world, many other mythical figures exist closely resembling Santa Claus in either appearance or in actions. Hey Wanderers, welcome back to another Foolish Wanderers podcast about anything and everything. Today, we're going to be talking about some different Santa Clauses from around the world.
So I'm familiar with the Santa Claus from the United States.
Of course, yeah.
Which I think probably a lot of our listeners are.
Mm-hmm.
But I also know the one from Finland a little bit because my family is Finnish.
Okay.
So those are the only two Santas I know about. But
Okay,
I thought it was going to be a pretty fun episode for the podcast this week because there's a lot of different Santas with a lot of different characteristics.
Yeah, I didn't realize how many there were, especially like the little helpers and stuff, until I started Googling it. It's interesting.
They have a lot more helpers than just elves.
Yes. A lot more.
So I thought since we're an American podcast, I don't really know that much about the Santa Claus from America, other than like Coke sort of made him what he is today.
Kind
a
of,
little
yeah.
bit through marketing. I think we've discussed that a few times on the podcast before.
Mhm.
But so Santa Claus we know from America is derived from the Dutch legend of Sinterklaas. And he's an earlier arrival in this country. He was brought by settlers to New York in the 17th century by Dutch immigrants.
Oh, okay.
Because if a lot of people don't know, New York City used to be a Dutch colony.
I didn't know that. That's interesting.
I have to Google that now.
So don't quote Kendra, but
I have to freaking Google that now. I'm like, it was, wasn't it?
It's just like, at least there's like a large amount of Dutch settlers,
I gotta
right?
Google this.
Okay.
I swear.
Find Google music.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. This is according to Wikipedia, people. So, New Amsterdam was a 17th century Dutch settlement established at the southern tip of Manhattan Island that served as the seat of the colonial government in New Netherland. So, that is New York City.
Okay.
So, there's this is why I know that, because so there was like a fort there that they had, and there was a large street going from the fort past the wall, and that became Broadway, and the city wall gave Wall Street its name. So that's where Wall Street in New York City comes from the Dutch colony that was there.
That's cool.
So there you go, people. Sometimes old Kendra knows what she's talking about.
Sometimes she has to Google.
And sometimes she has to Google, but she knew what she was talking about, but she had to Google it just to
fact check. It's okay. We all do it. It's fine. We're going to have a lot of angry either Dutch people or like
so many
New Yorkers.
People. Oh, man. I would rather have emails from people that are Dutch rather than New Yorkers.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I don't want to deal with New Yorkers. They're tough.
They are, yes.
That's a compliment. They're tough. But they also would make me cry in my shower for weeks at a time.
Oh, no. Let's move on to Santa Claus.
I was like, this little Midwest toad can't handle a New Yorker.
What's your first one, Kendra?
Okay, my first one's from Italy. I thought it was interesting. I think they have a regular Santa, but this was the more unorthodox Santa that I liked.
Okay.
So this is called the Bafana. Again, I'm not Italian. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing this incorrectly, but that's how I'm going to pronounce it. Bafana.
Okay.
So in Italy, local legends tell of a woman known as Bafana, who is the country's Santa Claus. She's equivalent to Santa Claus. So according to legends in Italy, Bafana is a legendary old woman who gives gifts to children annually during Epiphany Eve, which is a festival observed all over the country on the night of January the 5th. the local folklore in Italy portrays Bafana as an old hag
Oh.
who travels by air riding on a broomstick and wears a black shawl. Sounds a lot like a witch, right?
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bafana is believed to visit homes, entering through the chimney, and leaves candy and other gifts to children who have been good, and leaves soot or a lump of coal to children who have been bad. In modern Italy, Bafana is also known as the Christmas witch.
Which basically it sounds like a
She's a
modern day
witch.
witch. Yeah.
Yep.
That leaves gifts.
Yep, leaves
Interesting.
gifts.
So it's like a combination of Halloween and Christmas.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It was like there's a little bit of history that I left out from our last podcast, the history of modern Christmas traditions. So it's like the tradition of why does Santa go down the chimney?
Mm-hmm. Oh
So
yeah,
the-
why does he?
So the concept that magical creatures enter homes through chimneys was actually widely believed and feared. It said that witches could pass through solid objects to enter any residence. In 1486, Henrik Kramer and Jacob Springer wrote Malus Maleficatorum, I think is how you say it.
Malus Maleficatorum. That sounds like something from Harry Potter.
It very well could be. I don't know. So it is considered to be one of the most thorough books on witchcraft, and to help ease public's everybody's anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
Kramer and Springer wrote that witches instead entered houses through chimneys or windows, and since then the chimney has become a common symbol within European folklore, linking the earthly world with the supernatural world. So there are creatures in all countries and cultures that enter through the chimney, some which include the Scottish legend, the brownie.
The brownie?
The brownie, which is a
creature. The dessert?
No, not quite. No.
Okay.
I recently learned about this creature too, so
I want a brownie right now.
Ooh, brownies are
Why
delicious.
is it that if you like the dessert, like if you hear the word brownie, you want to eat a brownie?
Because they're delicious.
Because they're good.
They're
I like
good.
the corners. The corners are my favorite.
Oh, I like the middle. The middles are delicious. That's my favorite.
They're very yin yang.
Yes, it works though. It's good.
It works. We're the odd couple. It works.
There you go. So a brownie is a creature that would enter through the chimney and aid in household chores while the human family were sleeping.
Wait, it did chores?
Yeah, it helps you with chores.
So it was apparently a weird supernatural maid that came through the chimney?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yep.
I want one.
But in Irish lore, there's the Bodak. It's an evil creature that slips in through the chimney to kidnap children.
Oh, I'd rather not have that.
Yeah. But now we got La Bafana.
Isn't that weird? One comes through the chimney and does your chores while you're sleeping and does cleans the toilet and, mops the floor. And the other one comes down the chimney and steals your children.
Yeah, well, let me Google brownie quick, 'cause I'm pretty sure there's also some bad connotations with them. So
okay.
So pause for Google real quick.
See, now I'm trying to think, is the bad thing that the brownie does, is it going to outweigh the fact that it cleans your house while you sleep? Because maybe if it what did the Tomty do? It just tied your horse's tails together sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. So some can be good, some can be bad.
Mm-hmm. But then, the worst thing that they would do would, burn your house down and beat your children.
Just that. So a brownie, according to Google, is a small industrious fairy or hobgoblin believed to inhabit houses and barns. They're rarely seen and is often heard at night, cleaning and doing housework, but also it could cause mischief. So it's not.
But what's mischief? Is it gonna untie your tie your shoes together, or
I don't know. I guess it depends what they feel like. So one day it could tie your shoes together. One day it could.
The next day it could be arson. Okay. Got it.
Yes.
I don't like them, the, vagueness.
Yeah, it's a little concerning.
I'm looking at pictures of the Bafana and it looks like my grandma. It looks like my Nana. It looks like my Nona.
Isn't she supposedly Italian?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Well, there's a connection for you.
Yeah, her last name, her mom's last name would be Latanzi, so they're from Italy, but, they're not much Italian. Besides her last name.
Wow, so there's a connection for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so according to the good old Wikipedia, it says that every family had a brownie or evil spirit, they're called. So-called,
no.
Which served them, so which they gave sacrifice for his service, as when they churned their milk, they took part of thereof and sprinkled every corner of their house with it for brownie's use. So they gave the brownie a little bit of milk. Otherwise, when they brewed, they had a stone which they called brownie's stain, wherein there was a little hole to which they poured some wort for a sacrifice to a brownie. They also had some.
Yeah,
so it sounds like they had to like basically give them a little, like some sacrifices or just like a little bit of food to like appease them.
Okay.
So kind of like the brownie, where you appease them to not cause mischief with a little bit of food. It's kind of the same as like the Nisse, which is from the episode we talked about them in the episode about gnomes, which was episode
42, where you
42.
can get
Hey.
wherever you get your podcast, including this place.
Yes, wherever you're listening to it right now, even on YouTube. We have YouTube. So the Nisse, they are a magical figure created or featured in Scandinavian folklore, and it's very commonly associated with the Christmas season. So a Nisse is usually depicted as a small, about 35-inch tall dwarf or gnome with a long white beard and wearing a conical cap, which kind of sounds like another jolly fellow, guy
Santa.
with Santa. Yes. So according to tradition, they secretly live in a house and act as a guardian. If it's treated well, they protect children and animals from evil.
Treated well.
Yes, that's a key
Meaning
word.
you're giving it porridge and other foods that it wants, and you're showing it respect.
Yes. Yeah, so they'll help you with like your chores and your farm work. And then on Christmas Eve, you have to give it a bowl of porridge.
You have to. It's like a gremlin. You have to.
Yes. Otherwise, it's like a thank you for them helping you all year. Otherwise, if you didn't give them the porridge, however, it would cause unfortunate mischief around the house, or farm. So
yeah, mischief meaning burning your house down, leaving you for dead, tying up your children, beating your animals, beating your children, that sort of mischief.
Yeah, in our gnomes episode, we just like kind of equated it to, it said like tying cows' tails together and tipping over buckets, but burning your house down works too. There you go. Okay. All right, what's your next one? If you gotta tie into that one.
I don't have one that has like arson. We could do the opposite of. I like this guy. Okay, this one's from Brazil. This is the Santa Claus from Brazil, and his name is Papai Noel.
Ooh.
And so because Brazil is on the other side of the equator, Christmas comes in the middle of the summer.
I always thought that was kind of interesting, right? Like, I never thought about as a kid, Christmas for other people being in the summertime. But it is. It's interesting. Yeah.
And that's why Santa, Papai Noel, shows up from his home in Greenland wearing an outfit made of silk. So, like, silk pajamas, like white silk pajamas. He's very, very luxurious. So, before going to bed on Christmas Eve, children set out their shoes. There's a lot of, like, shoes.
There is, yeah. It's a pretty common thing, yeah.
All over, like, other Santa Clauses and other countries in Europe, it's like, set out your boots, set out your shoes, put your shoes outside, put your shoes by the chimney, put your shoes on the windowsill.
I suppose because it's, like, one of those things that you kind of have that's, if you don't have, like, a bowl, it's something that belongs to you.
You always have, hopefully, shoes.
Yeah, hopefully you have shoes, yeah.
Fungus on your toys and gifts.
Okay, moving on.
Anyway, so yeah, the kids are going to set out their shoes, and in the morning, they find them filled with small gifts. Yay. And they also look for presents hidden that are hidden around the house.
Oh, that's fun. I like the little scavenger hunt. That's fun. So our next one they have are the Yule Lads from Iceland. So the modern Santa Claus equivalent in Iceland is known as the Yule Lad, or also known as the Yule Men.
I like Yule Men.
Yeah, it makes more sense, right?
Yule Lad sounds like a barbershop quartet.
It does, actually. So the Yule Lads are based on historical Icelandic folklore figures. So according to folklore, Yule Lads were sons of Grela and Lepolda. Do you know how to say that?
I don't know Icelandic.
Okay, I apologize.
I apologize too. I'm sorry.
So they were trolls who lived in the mountains, and then the Yule Lads would descend from the mountains to prank or scare children who misbehaved, and were accompanied by the Yule Cat. The Yule Cat was a beast which would eat children who did not get new Christmas clothes, which is very
messed
sad.
up.
It is really messed up, yeah. So in modern Iceland, Yule Lads are depicted as 13 men who travel around the country during Christmas, offering gifts to children with good morals. So it sounds kind of like just a slightly different version of the 12 Dwarves from Disney.
But the Yule Cats are nasty.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
Like, they're gonna eat you unless you got.
Unless let me see if that is that. Did you get new clothes if you were good? Is that like your Christmas present in Iceland?
Oh yeah, you got socks. I feel like if you got socks, that means you were bad.
Actually, I guess an adult, I like getting clothes for Christmas. Don't you like getting clothes for Christmas?
Now I do as an
No,
adult.
yeah. As a kid, it's like, yeah, but now
Mm-hmm.
it's nice, yeah.
Let's see. This thing is okay. This article I found about the Yule Lads, from Insider.com says the Yule Lads are 13 mischievous Icelandic elves who, instead of making toys in Santa's workshop, play tricks on children. Potasleski, for instance, will steal your leftovers, while Gerla, the mother of the 13 Yule Lads, will kidnap you if you have behaved badly. During the 13 nights leading up to Christmas, Icelandic children place their shoes, by the windowsill in hopes that one of the 13 Yule Lads will leave them small gifts or candies. Misbehaved children will instead receive rotten potatoes in their shoes.
Oh no.
Potatoes!
No.
No,
Potatoes!
rotten potatoes.
Oh, those smell bad.
They smell just wrong.
Yes. So it says that according to the SmithsonianMagazine.com,
Mm-hmm.
it says that according to Icelandic tradition, getting new socks before Christmas might just save your life because the Yule Cat eats anyone that hasn't received any new clothes by the time Christmas rolls around.
But
So
is that like every child gets that?
it gets like new clothes. It must be like a tradition. Or like, what happens if you can't afford new clothes?
That's what
pretty
I want to
messed
know.
up.
That's why I said it was messed up. That
That's
if you're
pretty messed
poor,
up.
that the Yule Cat's gonna get you.
Yeah, that's sad. But it must be, so it says by the time Christmas rolls around, so I wonder if it's like all year or something. I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either.
Oh, okay, so it says also, according to Icelandic tradition, anyone who has finished their chores before Christmas would get new clothes as a reward. So if you didn't do your chores, you wouldn't get new clothes and
And
would
then
have to
eaten
face
by the
fate.
Yule Cat. Okay.
Yes, so do your chores. There you go.
Do your chores. That's the moral of the story. Do your chores.
There you go. We found it.
Okay, so we're gonna travel now from Iceland. We're gonna go to Japan.
Ooh.
And it is a very few % of Japanese people celebrate Christmas with Santa and, Jesus' birthday and that sort of thing. So instead, they have this Buddhist monk, whose name is Hatiyosho. I think that's how you say it. Hatiyosho. I think it's Hatiyosho. Okay, so instead they have a man named Hatiyosho. And like Santa, he's an old man who carries a big sack over his back. But unlike Santa, I mean, that's as much in common that he has with Santa. But unlike Santa, he's got eyes in the back of his head, and he uses them to know when children are naughty or nice. So that's sort of like the way that children know to behave, because otherwise the eyes in the back of his head are gonna see you.
Oh, that's creepy.
It's creepy.
I don't like extra eyes. That's weird. That's creepy. I'm sorry, but that's weird. Isn't it amazing though, like how many from around the world, like how many similarities there are for like giving out gifts and like naughty or nice, and like it's weird because it's like they were so spread apart, but there's so many similarities too.
I guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone wants presents.
Very true. Presents are nice sometimes. All right, so now we're going to jump over to Hungary, where instead of Santa, they have Mikulas. So Mikulas arrives on December 6th, so way before December 25th. Way before. And he leaves long before actual Christmas Day. He delivers presents to the children across Hungary. So children, again, put their shoes on a windowsill and await the arrival of Mikulas, who will come along and fill it with all kinds of toys and treats. So he usually comes, however, with 2 assistants in the form of an angel, which is good, and a mean elf or a devil, which is bad. So instead of receiving coal, bad children may be giving a raw potato. It's not rotten, but raw.
A raw potato. See, I'd rather have a raw potato than a rotten potato because you can cook it. And eat it.
It's food. It's something.
It's food. It's something.
It's still disappointing compared to like sugar, but it's something.
It's something. I read a little bit of the Mikulas too, and it said that if bad kids would also receive a wooden spoon with a raw potato or the lump of coal.
I see, thinking practically, all that's not that bad.
I mean, it's just really random, like the raw potato and a wooden spoon. With the coal. Actually, it's kind of like, so with those, do you know what, like those, like the really fancy restaurants? Well, they'll say, oh, we're gonna have, what is it? Deconstructed spaghetti. Where they give you all the ingredients yourself, and you're like, here you go, make it yourself. You're like, I'm paying $500 for this meal. I don't want to make it for myself.
Exactly, yeah.
That's what it is. Santa is giving you a deconstructed Christmas meal with the wooden spoon, the raw potato, and a lump of coal.
Yep.
With the coal, you're going to be able to heat up the potato, and then the spoon, you're going to be able to, like, I don't know, scoop it.
Eat it. Yeah. I mean, honestly, Miculus is way before his time.
Way before his time. He put all those hipsters in San Francisco to shame.
Oh, good boy, Miculus. Okay. What you got next?
All right, we're going to travel to... Where were we just?
Hungary.
We're in Hungary. Okay, so we're in the Eastern Bloc. Okay, we're going to move north.
Okay.
Past Hungary, past Estonia, to Finland.
Ooh, okay.
Where Yolo Pookie lives. In Rovaniemi. So you can go... So if you're like, you want to be touristy and you go to Finland, you can go to Rovaniemi, which is the north part, sort of past like up in Lapland.
Okay.
And that's where they have like the Santa Christmas village with the reindeer, and you can bring, Santa, like put him like a envelope, letter in his mailbox, and it's very touristy and
sounds like fun though.
Yeah. So Yolo Pookie he's a legendary Christmas figure from Finland, and Finland originally took the opposite approach to Christmas. So instead of like a nice guy showing up with gifts, Yolo Pookie was the Yule goat. It was a literal goat.
Okay.
And he was evil, and he was a goat-like creature who didn't bring presents and demanded that children behave.
So Krampus.
No, he was a goat.
Oh, not goat man, but goat.
He was goat, like a goat.
Okay.
Like, so my family has straw goats that we put on our Christmas trees. Straw goats.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the old Yolo Pookie.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of weird. I don't know. We put goats on our Christmas tree.
I mean, people put like a stick of butter on their tree. It's not that weird.
That's even weirder. So yeah, he didn't bring presents. He just came and was like, "Hey, Georgie, behave," and left. So they held winter festivals to keep him away. They're like, get away, goat.
Oh, that's weird. Okay.
But later, his image was softened, and the legend was changed to like more closely resemble the American Santa Claus. So I don't really know if that changed when the Germans came up there and what is it? They forced Jesus on them. What's it called?
Oh, it's under the sea, right?
They converted.
Yeah, like they tried to convert them to Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
That's better. That's better worded. So the term Yolo Pookie is a Finnish word which it translates to Yule goat.
Okay.
That's what it means. It still is Yolo Pookie. So now he's an old man with a long white beard, and he wears tight red leather pants, which is kind of nasty, and a red fur trimmed coat, and he travels on a sleigh pulled by reindeer, but it doesn't fly. It's just is a regular sleigh.
Okay, that's more realistic.
Yeah, I mean, that's what Finland is. They're very realistic and logical. They're like, it doesn't fly. He wears tight leather pants, and he just goes on a sled. That's what it happens.
I just love it's like very Europeanized or Americanized to the Santa Claus, but no, tight leather pants.
Well, they're really into heavy metal, so I think that kind of goes hand in hand, right?
Fair enough. Yeah.
Tight leather pants. Mm-hmm. So Yolo Pookie's just on a regular sled pulled by reindeer, and he visits homes of all over the country, leaving gifts to children. But the weird thing is that he doesn't have he doesn't come down like a chimney or anything. He is very Finnish, where he'll knock on your door and ask if he can come in if there's any good children there.
Oh, okay.
So that's what he's very polite. He's like, "Hey, are there any good kids here? I have some presents."
Oh, okay.
And that's Yolo Pookie.
It's interesting too that they went from goat to Santa, like human. Right? I mean,
yeah, it's really weird.
Okay.
I rather would have the goat.
And I have a little goat that speaks like a human and drops off presents.
I know. I'd rather have the goat that comes there once a year and is just a therapist, and he's like, "Hey, I know you've been having a bad year, but you need to behave better and be a better person."
At first, when you're saying he comes to your house and says, "Hey, stop it," I just was like, I don't know why, but I pictured this just this floating goat behind your head, just being like, "Hey, you gotta straighten up here, kid."
You're going down a bad path.
He's the best therapist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so the next one that I have is from Basque Country.
Ooh, Spain!
Yeah. So it's Olencero, I believe is how you say it. Okay, so there's actually many different like legends surrounding Olencero. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing that correctly first.
I don't speak Basque. They have their own language.
That's impressive.
So it's, if I remember right, I only know about Basque because of the Anthony Bourdain show. What is it? Is it No Reservations or is it Parts Unknown? I think it's Parts Unknown. But it's this cute little interesting country that has they have a lot of, they love their traditions, they love their history, they have their own language.
That's cool.
They have like some of the best highly rated restaurants in this tight little area. And I think they're in the north part of Spain, if I remember right, between like France and I look it up.
It looks like, yeah, it's like right by the France border, I think. Cool.
Very cool. Very beautiful. By the ocean.
Ooh, pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Olencero. I can't really roll my R's as well. But it's like Olenzero. So there's many versions of his legend. The first source of this legend dates back to the 17th century and it's called Alanoche de
Navidad?
Navidad, yep. So it is believed that Olenzero was from a particular race called the Gentilic, who are believed to be mythological. So legend has it that once there was a bright cloud in the sky which was only sensed by a blind old man. And then when he was asked about the cloud, the blind man stated that in a foreboding tone.
Oh, foreboding, okay.
Yes, which is weird, because he said that Jesus Christ was about to be born. So
maybe he was the Satanist.
It could have been. So according to traditional folklore, the old man wished to be thrown off a cliff. Very dramatic. So that he did not have to be part of the new religion or Christianity.
See, he is a pagan.
Yeah.
Or, I'm sorry.
Very strong.
Satanist.
Or they just didn't want to believe.
I'm not calling pagan Satanist. I'm just...
No.
I misspoke.
You're fine. So, which he neither believed nor understood. So a bunch of giants agreed to do the old man's bidding. However, after having thrown the old man off the cliff, all the giants also tripped and fell. So the only giant who survived out of the group of giants was known as Olenzero.
And that's their Santa?
So we have a little bit more to go.
Okay, I was like, hold on. So the Santa is a giant that threw a Satanist blind old man off of the cliff because he didn't want to meet Jesus?
Yes.
And then his whole family like tripped and fell and died? And he was the last one?
In this legend, yes.
That's your Santa. Okay.
Yes. So there are also other versions to this legend, however. So with the Gentilic choosing to leave Olenzero behind because he chose to embrace Christianity, the legend is associated with certain aspects of conventional customs, such as sacrifices and last meals. So another version of the story, Olenzero begins his life as an abandoned infant who is found and raised by a fairy. After blessing the baby with gifts of strength, courage, and love, the fairy leaves him with a childless couple to raise them as their own. Many years later, following the death of his adopted parents, Olenzero begins making toys that he'll distribute to orphans in the nearby town, so get more towards Santa.
Mm-hmm.
So in one particular day, as Olenzero is making his gifts to the children in town, he catches sight of a burning house. He immediately runs to the house and is able to save all the children, all the people inside. However, he sadly perishes in the fire.
Oh my gosh.
So, however, the fairy that rescued him as an infant saw what happened and decided to return Olenzero to life, like brought him back to life because of all the good deeds he's performed in his lifetime. So not only does the fairy save Olenzero from his death, but he also grants him eternal life so that he can continue to make and distribute the toys to all the orphans in Basque Country. So he's celebrated in Basque Country and arrives in town late on the 24th of December, dropping off presents to children as they begin their Christmas festivities. And sometimes he can arrive between the 27th and the 31st, but he's always being known as like a tall, calm, mild-mannered figure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very lovable man.
I like the first story better.
Oh man, the giants jumping off our toe. What's another one you got?
Okay. So this one's from Iran, and I thought this one was really interesting. His name is Amu Naurus.
Okay.
So Amu Naurus, it's an Iranian fictional figure featuring in local folklore. Also known as Papa Nowruz, Amu Naurus is believed to appear at the start of spring each year, accompanied by Haji Firuz, who's another fictional figure to commemorate the opening of the Iranian New Year. So similar to Santa Claus, Amu Naurus is depicted as a silver-haired old man sporting long white beard who visits children and gives them gifts.
Okay.
So in contrast, Haji Firuz, Amu's companion, plays tambourine and demands gifts from children.
Oh, so he gives the gifts and I take them.
Yep, and plus the
Okay.
tambourine.
Okay.
So the story of Amu Naurus and Nani Sarma is one of the symbolic legends of the transition from the old year to the new year. So this is it. So according to the legend, an old woman named Nani Sarma, which means Grandma Frost, is the wife of Amu Naurus, but can only see him this one night of the year.
Oh.
I know, it's sad. After which she leaves him and goes on her way till the next year. Another version of the story says that on the first day of spring every year, Nani Sarma expects Amu Naurus to come and visit her. But before he comes, she falls asleep from exhaustion, and when she wakes up, she realizes that Amu Naurus has come and gone.
Aww.
It has also been said that if the two see each other, the world will be destroyed.
Oh, then don't see each other.
Yeah, don't see each other.
I mean,
break
sad,
up,
but
get
also,
divorced.
Like, what?
In another retelling, Amu Naurus travels all around the world giving children gifts, much like Santa Claus, on his way to meet Nani Sarma, who loved him dearly. And Nani Sarma would wake up early on the spring equinox to clean her house and ready her table. However, each year she falls asleep just before he arrives. Kind-hearted Amu Naurus would not wake her up. Instead, he eats some of the food set out and places a flower in her new clothes. Then he departs to continue his long journey. When dawn touches Nani Sarma's face, she wakes up to realize she has missed seeing Amu Naurus again. Each year, the cycle repeats, and she awaits him every spring.
Oh, that's interesting too. They said like new clothes, so it must be another. Like they get new
must
clothes.
Be
for
getting
Christmas.
new clothes.
Interesting.
End of the year, new clothes, new Nani Sarma.
True. How did they get together if they never saw each other?
I don't know. They must have saw each other once.
Okay. Alright. So the next ones that I have, they're all helpers, or like kind of like they're not Santa or like equivalents to necessarily Santa, but they're kind of like elves, kind of in a way.
They're elves. All right.
Kind of like in their equivalents, yeah. So the next one that I have is Ruprecht from Germany. So
it sounds German.
It does. Yes. So German-speaking countries have a rich tradition of Santa's helpers. They have names that can vary with geographical location, so different names basically kind of for like the same being, kind of. However, they collectively are known as the companions of St. Nicholas. Some of these are well-known helpers include the Benchnickel and Schmulzi.
And Benchnickel is evil, right?
Yes, I believe so, yeah. Yep. So one of the most widely known helpers, however, is a Knecht Ruprecht, or Ruprecht, the farmhand. The story goes that he was a foundling, which is an infant that had been abandoned by his parents and is discovered or cared for by others. So, and then St. Nicholas found him and took Ruprecht under his wing. So Ruprecht wears a brown hooded robe, carries a big stick, and a bag of ashes. He also sadly walks with a limp due to a childhood injury.
That's so, like,
it's
descriptive.
Random, but
and random.
Yeah. So when St. Nicholas and Ruprecht arrive at the house on St. Nicholas Eve, Ruprecht quizzes the children to make sure that they know their prayers. If they do, he distributes apples and nuts and gingerbreads.
Nice.
If they don't, he hands out coal, then just casually beats them with a stick and hits them with a bag of ashes.
Wait, hits them with a bag of ashes?
Yeah. So it's said to like the ashes are to mark them as evildoers. So you get
what the heck?
You get hit with a stick and then a bag of ashes, and you're just like,
he sounds like Krampus.
A little bit. Except he doesn't like eat them or cart them off to hell. So you know.
Okay. How nice of him.
Yes.
So nice. What a classy gent.
Okay. What's the next one you got?
Okay, I just got this thing on my phone. Let's go tell me what it is. Okay. All right. So this is Russian Santa, and his name is
Ded Moroz.
Ded Moroz is a Russian fictional figure who is a Santa Claus equivalent in Russia. The folklore surrounding
Ded Moroz
is present in Ukraine, Russia, and many countries in the former Eastern Bloc.
Okay.
Ded Moroz
loosely translates to Old Man Frost in Russian. According to legends,
Ded Moroz
is an old man with a long white beard and wears a long fur coat, a fur hat, and carries a long magic staff.
Ooh, pretty.
Ded Moroz
Is said to appear on New Year's Eve, where he gifts children with presents while accompanied by
Ded Moroz
granddaughter, whose name is Gurochaka.
You use the pronunciation app for the easy word that you can't do.
I don't. I don't even know if Google can pronounce this lady's name.
Test it.
Snegurochka. Snegurochka? I don't know how the heck you print. What in the heck?
Type it in. I'm curious.
Snegurochka.
Снегорочка.
What?
Snigorochka.
Снегорочка.
Yeah.
Snegurochka?
Snigorochka. I mean, it makes sense when you look at the spelling.
But it sounds like cockroach.
Snigorochka.
It's not very like
Oh, like a roach.
like
Yeah.
elegant. Yeah, roach. Snegurochka. Not very elegant.
What does his granddaughter do? Did it ever say, or just
This is like helps.
kind of helps? Okay, fair enough.
She's just there for moral support.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
It's cool.
All right, so the last one that I have is it's not really like Santa. It's more like kind of like a helper again.
A piece of wood.
It's a piece of wood. So this is from Spain. It's Tiu De Nadal. So in Catalan, Tiu De Nadal is roughly translated to Christmas log. It is a widespread tradition in many parts of Spain. So according to Catalan mythology, the Christmas log brings small presents on Christmas. Big presents come from the three wise men.
That's their Santa.
Yeah. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So originally, the Tiu De Nadal was just a piece of wood, just like a log. A log brings you little presents.
Yep.
But now the log is given oftentimes a face with a nose and two little legs to prop it up, along with a little red hat, which is similar to a baronetta, which is...
What's that?
So a baronetta is a traditional hat that was frequently worn by men in parts of the Christian cultures of the Mediterranean Sea, such as Catalina. It's kind of similar to a beret, but has like, looks kind of like a, what am I thinking of? I think, isn't it Doc from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs? He kind of has like a hat with a little point to it, but it's kind of like a little...
It's slouchy.
Stocking cap. Yeah, it's kind of like that, yeah.
It's the log is wearing a hipster hat.
Yes.
Got it.
It's fancy, yes.
It's fancy.
So it all starts on the day of the Immaculate Conception, where
Which
Mary
is December 8th.
Yes, very good. It's where Mary is believed to be told that she's going to have a son.
The log.
Jesus.
Oh,
no,
not the log.
Jesus, yes.
Not the log.
No, not a log.
Wait,
no.
where the heck does this log come in? Because this log was not in the Christmas story that I was told.
He was there. He was part of the state. He was part of the manger.
He is the manger?
He is the manger. Yes.
It was the manger that like he was the manger, and then after it, like he's like, oh, my 15 minutes of fame are up. What do I do? I know. I'm gonna retire to Spain, wear this hipster hat, and give kids presents.
Yes. Oh, it's actually a good retirement plan. I like it.
I like it too.
It's gonna end weird, but okay. So the tradition states that households begin to feed sweets to the log every night. So, like put like little sweets and treats.
Wait. What?
Yes. Yeah, so like every night since December 8th, they slowly put in like the kids will feed the log treats. They'll put little candies
they're
and like
fattening it up or what?
Yes.
To eat it or what?
Oh, we'll get to it.
So wait, are they buying this log or does this log just live there all year round?
Well, you'll see what happens to it in the end. So hold on.
I'm just so I don't like this already. They're fattening up this hipster sad log.
Yes.
Sweets. Yep. Okay.
Yes. Sweets and like little treats. Yes.
Okay.
And also the log is usually given a little blanket to keep it warm during the chilly months before Christmas. Cute, right?
That's kind of cute, but also
it is cute.
They're fattening it up for something evil, and I don't know what it is yet.
Yes. So after weeks of quote unquote feeding,
disgusting.
It's finally Christmas Eve, and the log is placed on in the fireplace.
No.
So members of the house will then take turns bashing the little log person with a stick.
What?
And commanding it to basically defecate out the presents and candies. And they're like hoping it's not going to be like anything like sticky herring. So
wait, Bag, why are you moving on? We have to go over this. Wait. So after the feeding takes place, they shove this little nice little log. Is the log wearing his blanket while they put him in the fireplace or no?
Yes.
And then people in the family, they take turns beating it with a stick.
Yes, it's actually quite sad.
It's stick on stick violence, and they're like, you, the little Christmas log, you better shit out me some presents and candies.
Yes.
And don't give me stinky herring.
Yes, and this is where it got its name as Kagatio or shit log.
What that means?
Yeah, Kagatio. It's a nickname.
So nice.
Well, Tiu De Nadal is its original name, but then Kagatio or shit log is his nickname. Yes.
Oh, I feel so bad for him.
I know, it's like a cute little face, and got a cute little hat and a
they
blanket.
feed him, and then they beat him, and they ask it to shit out presents.
Well,
That's just wrong.
there's more to it, so
There's more to this hell?
Yes, okay, so as they sadly hit this log,
This is a
they
war
s
crime.
they sing traditional songs about the log.
No.
So it goes, "Shit log, shit theron, hazelnuts and cottage cheese. If you don't shit well, I'll hit you with a stick. Shit log."
I'm just I don't know.
Yes, and then
They're singing this while they beat it?
Yes, they are. It's festive!
It's festive. Yeah, the shit log is a prisoner of war. It's great.
Oh, yes. So Christmas is then celebrated to the delight of everyone in the house as they reach below the log's blanket to pull out their gifts
Oh, so nice.
of defecated candy and presents.
This is just I never would associate Christmas with a shit log that wears a hat
Yeah.
and it shits presents.
Yeah. It's like a piñata, but more morbid.
I get what you say with the piñata.
Yes.
Piñata, you're not, like, bashing it while saying, like, "Your entrails better just be candy and not, bad rotten potatoes." And then
Yeah.
eating this piñata, I'm gonna dance in its entrails. Whoop, 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 whoop. Like, these people are
Yeah, they're like it's kinda
and you don't
morbid.
feed the piñata. You're not making the piñata fat and, like, feeding it for weeks at a time just just to get the end result of beating the crap out of it, literally.
Yeah, quite literally, yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's different.
it's different, yes.
I'm not gonna do it this year or next year or any year after that, but it's
No,
different.
I'll stick with the peppermint pig, you know?
The peppermint pig, yeah, you're not the peppermint pig is kind of savage and barbaric, but I mean, it's not like a hostage where you're feeding it and making it fat, and then you're like, "Ha, ha, ha," give it a blanket, make it feel safe and,
I know.
comfortable in your house, and then just in order to beat it and tell you to poop me presents. So, I got an issue with the shit log, but alright.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas!
Go get your gifts from the shit log.
Oh, man. And with that, thank you again, Wanderers, for listening to another Foolish Wanderers podcast. If you'd like to give us suggestions for future episodes, we'd love to hear from you guys. So please email us at fwplisteners@gmail.com. We love to hear from you guys.
Mm-hmm. And new episodes are out every single Wednesday from wherever you get your podcasts.
Yeah.
And this was our last episode before Christmas.
Yeah, this is the last episode of our holiday series. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you guys for listening and staying tuned in our holiday series. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Kind of helped ring in the holiday season a little bit differently.
Yep. So.
And ended with the shit log.
So.
Alright, guys. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you guys next time. Shitting log. Okay.
That's Inca.
No, she shit a log. She's not shitting log.
She does like a lot of damage. She's a growing girl.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
I'm sorry to Inca. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, Inca, how'd you get in here?
Can I see the baby? Oh.
She's
Oh.
Yeah, she's little.
Hi, buddy.
Is she Katrina?
Hi, buddy. Oh. Says, like, I want to go.
Go ahead. Why doesn't she like to do that? I don't get it.
Is she digging or something?
No, she if you call her, she'll come a little bit and then she'll be like, and then back away. It's so weird.
Oh, it's funny though.
I think it's because she's done too many bad things. We're like,
oh no! You just gotta train her to know how to be like Inca come or something like that, and she'll like come to you.
I know. I've seen like YouTube videos where you're like, you can't have two things. We have to be like Inca come, and then be like Inca come. You can't have those.
Yeah.
But it's so hard for me because I'm an emotional person.
Just like trying to figure out like one that's just Inca or something, and one that's
I know, it's so hard.
I know, yeah.
Especially when she's like shits behind you in the bathroom, and you like didn't see her for like 2 seconds. You looked up for 2 seconds, and you look behind, and all of a sudden she's gone, and there's just a pile of shit. She's the worst Santa ever.
She's a Christmas shitter.
Oh my god, ew. No. Barf, barf, barf.
That's what all the bad kids are gonna get.
I'd rather have the wooden spoon and the raw potato.
The deconstructed Christmas meal, yes.
I'd rather have a rotten potato rather than a pile of poo. Right behind my feet.
At least she knows where the bathroom is.
That's like...
Not her bathroom, but the bathroom.
The bathroom. Yep, that's great. Good for her. I have a genius. Genius dog.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what's your next one?
It's the Christmas shitter, Inca.